Hi everyone, my name is Evelyn Angole and I'm here with Bindi Jevari, and we wanted to talk with you about Grameen Foundation's Refugee Finance Solution and how gender and market systems analysis informs our work. Grameen is a global nonprofit that empowers the poor, especially women, to create a world without poverty and hunger through digital financial services, digital agriculture, and women's economic empowerment solutions. And underpinning many of our solutions is a gender toolkit and the establishment of the Women DFS Agent network that brings a digital services to the last mile communities. The world is facing an unprecedented crisis of displacement, and Uganda hosts one of the largest refugee populations in the world with over 1.5 million refugees. At Grameen Foundation, we recognize that emergency assistance is not enough to meet refugees' long-term needs. Refugees need capital, skills, and an enabling financial service environment in order to build businesses and strengthen their own self-resilience. Since 2019, Grameen has been working with GSMA, Mobile for Humanitarian Innovation Program, and private sector partners in Uganda to build a more enabling digital financial services ecosystem for refugees and host communities, especially women and youth, to access finance for economic growth through what we call Refugee Finance Solution. Through this solution, we link informal savings groups to formal financial services through unique digital platforms and design of appropriate financial products. We also establish women and youth DFS agent networks to bring digital services closer to the refugee communities and develop user-centered financial education, digital financial literacy, and business skills training that is key for refugee business success.
So how did we get here, and why did we design the program the way we did? First, Grameen's program approach was informed by a market systems analysis that aimed to understand what are the supply side barriers that prevent private sector actors from extending financial services to refugees in remote settlements, and what are the demand side barriers which limit adoption and access of financial services by refugees, especially women. Second, we completed a gender analysis to take a deep look at the gender-related barriers which prevent women and youth from starting and sustaining successful mobile money businesses and prevent women in the communities we work with from using mobile money. The gender analysis looked at issues across entrepreneurship and financial services, time use, mobility, marriage and sexual and gender-based violence, assets and education, workplace and intersectionality. What we found was the supply side barriers to financial access included financial institution policies that limit access to credit for refugees. Financial institutions interested in serving refugees lack the capacity to expand to new clients. Limited digital financial services agent networks. And the demand side barriers included long distances to financial institutions and DFS access points, low digital literacy, and the perception that refugees cannot open up mobile money accounts, which is an inaccurate perception. The gender-related barriers to access and uptake included heavy household workloads and time poverty that limit women's ability to access faraway financial services from brick and mortar financial institutions, mobility constraints related to gender norms and high transport costs, limited trust and negative perceptions of formal financial services, and the inability to meet collateral requirements due to limited land ownership. To respond to these barriers, Grameen designed our program around women's savings group linkages to formal financial services, digital financial literacy, and the expansion of women and youth DFS agent networks. Women and youth refugee DFS agents enhance women's uptake of financial services because they're trusted and familiar to local communities, and thus better able to reach, onboard, and activate female customers, reducing the gender digital divide. Finally, after all of this, we did a gender deep dive to look at the barriers that women and youth face to starting and growing successful DFS micro businesses. What we found was disapproval from husbands, heavy household workloads, and limited time availability are some of the gender-related barriers that prevent women from starting and growing successful DFS businesses. And lack of startup capital, fear of fraud, and limited business management skills are some of the other key barriers they face. So we designed our Women and Youth DFS agent strategy to address these barriers. So that's everything. Thank you. And if you'd like to hear more about the Refugee Finance Program or Women's Agent Networks, please feel free to reach out to us.